Hey, Splinter Snake here with another figure review. Today we have got the Batman Arkham Origins DC Collectible Stroke Direct Batman. Yeah, as I said to you in my previous video, you can't say the word Batman without putting on the deep voice. Go on guys, say it with me. Batman. Probably going to cut that part out. Anyway, moving on. Finally got my hands on one of these bad boys. Man, are these guys super rare and really expensive. I wish I picked one up when they first came out, but I passed because I was going to get the Mattel one, but then I watched Anthony's Customs for the Mattel one, and then I watched his review for this guy, and yeah, it was no hard bars. And then my buddy Ronnie, he got one and he was flaunting it in my face any which way he could. So thanks for that, Ronnie. Incidentally, speaking of flaunting someone's face, oh Ronnie, Nina. Yeah, it's a little joke between me and him, only he will get that. Anyway, enough sidetracking. Let's get on to this bad boy. What's the overall impressions? Good God, this is an awesome figure. Maybe one of the best figures I have seen released from DC Collectibles. You'll be surprised that I have a gripe with it. I have a couple of gripes with it. They're more nitpicks than gripes. Sure though, I'm very impressed with this figure. So let's get a few things out of the way. Let's stand him up straight. His articulation, let's try that again. His articulation is maybe one of the best I've actually seen. It's very good, and he has a lot of really great points, and we will go over that. But like I said, first of all, let's go over the gripes. Now I'm going to stand him up straight and we'll do the size comparison first. If I change any of the other settings on the actual thing, then it looks weird, so well, so be it. Anyway, this guy stands to the top of his head. We're looking at just under 7 inches, and to the top of his ears or horns, just over 7 inches. Literally just. I don't know how well you can see that. A few size comparisons. Let's grab the Dynamic Duo. Not actually the Dynamic Duo, just the DC Direct Batman from Arkham City, and then the DC Direct, the Batman Legacy Mattel Batman from Arkham City also. So you can see he's kind of got a bit more, I want to say, bulk in his legs compared to these two, but the height is generally there, so that's pretty cool. This guy's a really awesome figure. Okay, so let's get my gripes out of the way. Fundamental gripe which I have with a lot of these figures is no bicep cut, just an elbow rotation, and that, you guys know I'm not a fan of this articulation point. I always prefer a bicep cut over an elbow rotation, but it's cool because he does have a rotation and he can bring his arms in, so that's good. It's better than not. It's better than just a straight up and down. So I can live with it. I am contemplating altering it, but I've been saying this about a couple of videos, but I just haven't got around to trying. I've been so busy, so I'm sorry. Second gripe. I think his legs are massive. Although they were very big in the game, they seem to be... You know what? They look a lot bigger in camera and on all the pictures I've seen. They're not as big in person. Like if I put my thumb, they're smaller than my thumb, so that's pretty good. And if I bring like his legs in, they're bigger than these legs, but I just think he's got a lot thicker armor in the first game than he does in the other ones. They don't look ridiculous in person. They really don't. One thing I think it's Anthony's Custom said, and I believe it's about this one, is that his torso proportion is a bit off, and I kind of agree with what he's saying now. His crutch is very low. I think that should probably maybe be about here, but it's still not that noticeable. And then my final gripe is he has good hip articulation, like they go forward and they go out, but they're hindered by the sculpt, so they kind of go forward. That's his Spartan, bit lacking to me, and that's his split, which is okay, but I personally, like I said, would have preferred something a bit better. It might be able to go further actually. I'm always scared because look what plastic it is. Let's try it. Go on, let's just do it. No, it doesn't want to go, and I'm not going to force it. No, see, it's a ball. See, you can see in there that there's no further room for it to go, so that's it. Now, I got this second hand off of eBay, and unfortunately some of the joints are a tad loose. They're not that bad though. Like his ankles are very, very loose, but they hold, just they're loose. Also his hips are a bit loose, and his thigh swivel are a bit loose. These also, I'm used to DC Directs going like that, but these things are just like really loose. So anyway, moving on. Let's go over the details. Just stand up straight. Stand up straight. There we go. Zoom. Zoom. I'll tell you one thing I noticed straight off the bat is I really, really like his head sculpt. I think that is a really nice head sculpt. It's got, I don't know how well it's coming over on camera, but the stubble is really good. Just can't seem to get it to focus right. It's not textured, it's just painted, but the eyes and the jawline is really good. Now if I bring in two comparisons, here we have the direct from Arkham City. I always thought his head sculpt was a bit weird, and I'm going to try and do this. I thought that was a pretty good head sculpt. The Mattel one, I think that's a pretty good head sculpt. I always thought that one just looked a bit weird, but this one I think is spot on. I think it looks really, really good. Now, from this part here, the little bat symbol just here is a separate piece. It's from his cape. And his cape is lovely soft rubber, very, very poseable. And it actually pegs in here. Now, this was loose when I got it, so I can show you this quite clearly. There's back armour, and where they've not painted. Looks very cool. There's bat booty. The back of the legs. So you can't see that because it's under the cape normally. The symbol is engraved, and he's got the little straps here for his arms, which are not attached to the arms, so that's really good, so they don't get hindered or anything. And I'm not worried about them breaking it. Don't look like they're going to catch at all. They might have caught if it was a bicep rotation, so that might be why they've chosen to go with this direction. Because with the Deathstroke, he actually has a bicep cut. The armour just looks really, really nice. Everything just looks really nice. The utility belt looks very, very cool. I'd love to know what that is. Oh, that might be the ting, which I'm not going to say. The ting which he froze. That's what I'm saying. Again, the armour and the boots, just everything is really well sculpted. It's quite plain though. There's no texture though. I've seen when this guy was first released, the images, there was a lot more texture. And I'm pretty sure I heard some comments saying about that might be coming out. But I don't know. The back of the neck. It's very cool. The thing I think is interesting is he's got some black boots, black gloves and black mask. But I'm pretty sure in the game this was all like a really dark grey. Like this colour. I could be mistaken. I'm feeling confident in what I'm saying though. I don't know, it's been a while since I played the game. But definitely a really, really, absolutely really nice sculpt. Everything is so cool. Now, one of the things that I didn't actually realise this was, I saw some that had an ab crunch and some that didn't. And I was like, why some have an ab crunch, some don't? And that's the difference fundamentally between the Mattel and the DC Collectables one, is this guy does have an ab crunch. Also, his cape, you'll notice, going straight down. The Mattel one kind of, I'll try and show you this, kind of fans out like that on both sides. So this one looks a bit more standing, whereas that one looks a bit more in action. Okay, so let's go over his articulation properly. Now, the head is on a ball, and it can only go back that much. I kind of wish it could go further, but it doesn't want to. But along with that ab crunch, you can get him looking up pretty good. It's a bit of the old Tim Burton's Batman, Michael Keaton doing the whole, huh? He can look down, only that much, so not that good. Pivot from left to right a little bit, and then you can rotate full 360 degree around. Oh, that's stiff there. Shoulders on excuse me, shoulders on ball discs, they can go up that high. And they can rotate full 360, but again hindered by the cape. But like I said, it's a very soft cape, so it shouldn't give you too much problem. Elbow, as I said, is on a rotation, so you can do 360 degree here. One thing I thought was very cool, I'm going to actually go over this detail here, is if I get the camera to focus quickly, the joint is quite nicely hidden. You can see a little bit of it there, but when you do that, you can't really see it. And I think that looks very nice. I do like that. So like I said, bend from there, and then it's actually pretty decent from there. Normally it loses about that much, but no, they've given him a nice tight mould, so it stays close, so that's good. So you can get him some really good fighting poses, as you've seen from my Deathstroke review. Moving on, the wrist is on a ball, so you can go down to there, up to there, hindered by the armour, and then you can go down a little bit and up a little bit, very hindered by the armour, and then you can rotate 360 degree. This one was very seized. I actually thought that someone had just glued it straight. This one's fine, exactly same on the other side. We have an ab crunch, and it's pretty decent. It's nothing wow. From there to there, so I think you can go further back. Now here's a waist cut. Now the belt does get hindered, but this is all a rubber, so it should be fine. Just be wary you don't, like, see, look how much I was putting a bend on that. So if you left it in that pose for too long, that would then be warped out like that, and that would look a bit weird. So just bear that in mind. But you can go around full 360 degrees. As I said, I'll do it again. Hips on a T-cut, so you can go forward Spartan of that. Maybe push his back leg there. There you go, that's a Spartan. And then a split of only that. If you really want to go for a bit further, you could kind of do that. So that's pretty cool. He has rotation just above the knee. Now it's one of those interesting ones that I think first appeared on the the Spider-Man 3 movie line, where it's like a joint inside a socket. So if I don't know how well you can see that, but you see it's just like this part here is rotating and it's not affecting the sculpt at all. I really like it. I think it hides it well, and it looks quite natural. I think Anthony said he didn't like it. I think he said he'd prefer a cut. I can't remember. Check out his review and you'll find out. I honestly can't remember that. He has a double knee. I'm loving all that. That's very cool. That's like what, the third figures have a double knee? Because Deathstroke did it, Anarchy did, Firefly didn't. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Deadshot. Deadshot did. So very cool that they're adding double knees. Loving this joint. Just do this on here, and then I do this on here. Move on. He has an ankle point from that to that. Now he's got a rotation here, so you can rotate the ankle around, probably full 360 degree, but it's going to be hindered by the armour. But then he has a peg going into the foot from the ball, so you can also get that beautiful ankle pivot. As Shawma's Prime. The beautiful ankle pivot! But like I said, you could get this guy into some really decent poses. Especially with that ankle pivot, it does actually help a lot. I mean, that's just a kind of dramatic stand. Cannot wait for the next game. Although we'll have to wait if I don't get an Xbox One. But like I said, this guy is really a cool figure, and I am proper loving him. So let's go over the overall thoughts on this guy. I paid for him, I think it was around about £29 postage. So that's a lot for a figure, more than I wanted to pay. Is he worth that? I think he'd be worth that brand new. I'm a bit meh for paying that much second hand, but still I'm over the moon to have one, and I want a few more to try some custom ideas. Would I recommend picking this guy up? Definitely pick this guy up. Would I recommend him over the Mattel one? I can't say as I don't have that one in hand, but if you need a Batman from Arkham Origins, or just a really good Batman figure, boosh. My buddy Ronnie, he doesn't actually collect the Arkham Origins wave, but this is his go-to Batman, and I understand why. It's just a stupendously awesome figure. He says that this guy is his favourite. I personally think I prefer this guy. I think Bats is better. I think he's cooler. But they're both very cool figures. And if you watch my pictures, then you'll see there's quite a few pictures of these guys having a fight. And now I'm going to be taking some more of Batman against maybe a few more. Anyway, that's my review. I hope you guys liked it. I've enjoyed making this one. And as per usual, thanks a lot for watching. Please leave any comments below. Please subscribe. And yeah, you know the routine. I'll be catching you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.